Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show with your hosts Lee Silber and Ellen Goodwin.
Welcome to another episode of the Faster, Easier, Better show. I'm your co-host, Ellen Goodwin, along with my co-host.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was at a loss for words, which is perfect because that's what I thought we could cover today is taking people who said amazing things about efficiency years ago and even in the near recent past and how we can learn from that and kind of adapt it to what we talk about. So I thought we'd go back in time and hear from some famous people, some efficient people, some successful people, and see what they had to say about efficiency. And I think you had one to start with, so I'll let you tell us yours.
Let me start with, life is too complicated not to be orderly. Orderly, what a word. That's Martha Stewart. And, she's not wrong. She's not wrong at all. Life is complicated. We have a lot of balls in the air. So if you keep them in order, it's easier to get things done.
I think that's a great quote. I mean, am I a Martha Stewart fan? But I mean, it's cool that she hangs with Snoop Dogg. I like that.
There you go. Okay, what do you got?
Okay, so I'll start with on planning, and I think that kind of ties in, meaning, it sounds like Martha is saying, there's just so much going on. You got to somehow wrangle it and put it in a bowl and cook it. I'm sorry. Something along those lines. But this is from Paul Meyer. He's a famous expert on efficiency. Productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligent planning, and focused effort. So commitment, planning, focused effort. Those are the key words.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And I would take it further because a lot of times planning can be mistaken for actually doing something. So yeah, you've got to plan, but then get into action and do your stuff.
This one kind of sort of ties in with that. And that is that this is Tim Ferriss, so a more recent person. Focus on being productive instead of busy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, a lot of us are busy. Oh, I've got so much stuff going on. But at the end of the day, have you moved yourself forward on anything? That's the key.
Well, it's kind of like what you said. You can do all the planning in the world, but if you're planning for things that are irrelevant or shouldn't be on your being planned for in the first place, then the planning was a waste of time. So planning in and of itself, very helpful. But planning isn't really the main key. It's one of the ingredients, but it's not. I'm using Martha Stewart again. It's not the main course. It's just, it's a side dish.
Exactly.
It's a side dish. Along the same lines, I put this under planning and priorities. The tragedy in life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in not having a goal to reach. Benjamin Mays.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you plan when you don't know what it is, the outcome you're looking for? What are you going for? What are you looking at? What are you doing? Where do you want?
Right.
What do you want to be?
We've talked about that. If you driving somewhere, you've got a goal. Oh, I have to get to the library. Okay, that's a goal, and you know what you're doing. But otherwise, you're getting in the car and going, I'm just gonna drive around the streets and annoy people.
So much I could say right there.
I know.
I'm just going to be efficient and not say a word. All right, I'm going to keep going. So I love Steve Jobs. I'm not saying, again, Martha Stewart's fine, but Steve Jobs is on a whole nother plane.
Exactly.
In my opinion. And so there was so many quotes from him. And this one's a little long, but it kind of summarizes what he's been saying all along before he was sick, when he knew he was sick, and at the very end of his life. But he says, your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Steve Jobs.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. It's along the same lines of, you could be efficient on things that you hate to do, that aren't suited for your skill set, that, you're miserable.
Yeah. And
And
how is that efficient? It's not.
no. Efficiency is to get the things you hate to do and have to do done faster so that you have more time for the things you want to do. But it goes back to the quote before that. You got to know what those are. And you've got to commit to those and just not let those be somewhere off on an island, somewhere isle.
Yeah.
A little island off in your little mind where it just sits there. You never get there. You never visit it. And then I guess I have one more planning, and I think we'll wrap this up. Maybe turn it into a 2-part series because there's a lot to cover. Stephen Covey, the man, talked about sharpening your saw and the 7 habits of highly effective people. Genius. He really was. I read that book though, and I thought, I don't get it. But everyone else was like, this is a great book. I'm like, well, I don't get it, but if they all say it's great, it must be great. I just wasn't ready for it yet. I reread it and I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. And so what he says is the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities.
Absolutely. And this again goes back to just what we've been talking about. If you're putting stuff on your schedule that shouldn't be there in the first place, there's nothing efficient or productive about that, because you shouldn't be going down that path. You should be going down the path that gets you to where your goal is.
We talked about this. I remember I could visualize it. We were in the studio, so it was over a year and a half ago. And I talked about, I have a filtering system that I use, meaning if there's something I'm not sure, should I not do it? I run it through my filter and I have a little dollar sign. Will it make money? A little heart. Do I love doing it? Is it a star? Am I good at it? Is it important? I mean, I have a filtering system, and the higher the score, especially if you're comparing several things that you are thinking about doing, it really clarifies which one has the most things on it that will make you happy, that will get you where you want to go, make you wealthier, whatever you're aiming for, whatever your filtering system is. But it takes, not that you shouldn't use your heart, but sometimes you need your head to decide what to do next.
That is so true. And I think that's a great place to stop for today. And we're going to do quotes again next episode. In the meantime, please follow, like, and review, and be back again next week for another episode of the Faster, Easier, Better Show.